Hello, my name is Jennifer Peterson, and I'm a second grade teacher in the Exira Elkhorn-Kimballton School District.
And hello, my name is Christy Herder, and I'm a kindergarten teacher for the Pella Community School District. Thank you for joining us today. This presentation is designed to provide research-supported comprehension strategies which align with Common Core state standards and guide students to become active, engaged readers. The Handbook of Research on Reading Comprehension and Reading at the Core, a journal article from the reading teacher, are the resources for today's presentation.
Harvey and Goodvis stated that you can't teach children to think as they are born thinkers, but it is our job to teach them about their thinking. During this presentation, we will provide strategies to help guide your students to think about their thinking. We will also talk about the importance of making sense of text and creating strategic readers by utilizing a comprehension continuum. Another key point in our presentation is the vital role the teacher plays in all areas of comprehension and how a teacher's pedagogy, knowledge, and strategy instruction, as well as the teacher's attitude towards reading, directly impacts every student. Finally, we will stress the importance of using these comprehension strategies across all curriculums to foster the importance of turning information into knowledge.
Multiple definitions of reading comprehension can be found within a variety of reputable sources and experts. The highlighted definitions here convey common themes which include three key components to the comprehension process: engagement and interactions with the text, knowledge and meaning making of the text, and application of knowledge. These key themes are woven throughout this presentation and within the research-based strategies which we will present. In the Handbook of Research on Reading Comprehension, Raphael, George, Weber, and Niles outline three waves of comprehension research which have contributed to how we instruct today and project the direction we will be taking in the future. In the 1980s, there was a focus on individual strategy research with the question of what do good readers do and how do teachers effectively teach the content of the curriculum and develop teachers who are effective at doing so. The 1990s saw frameworks for multiple strategies in which learning involves the activity, concept, and culture, as well as sociocultural influences and activity theories. Currently, we are bringing school-wide coherence to comprehension instruction, while we focus on school-wide literacy reform, as well as incorporate digital literacies. The graphic on the right brings to life Hardy and Goodvis's research-based scaffolding model of processing text from information to thinking to knowledge. Their quote, "We teach comprehension strategies so kids can acquire and use knowledge," underscores the importance of comprehension instruction. Multiple strategy instruction is crucial for teachers within their classroom. On this slide, you will see a variety of strategies which are recommended throughout both texts. Modeling occurs when teachers model comprehension through think alouds, anchor charts, graphic organizers, explicit instruction to provide students with multiple tools to utilize in independent reading. Metacognition also occurs as a teacher is thinking aloud during a read aloud and thinking about our thinking. The graphic on the lower right helps us visualize the strategy of gradual release of responsibility. High teacher control with low student activity eventually leads to high student activity with low teacher control. You can also see this diagram on page 452 of the Handbook of Reading Research. Within scaffolding, teacher plans lessons for understanding, which include before, during, and after strategies. Before, teachers help apply background knowledge. During the lesson, teachers are providing strategy instruction. And after the lesson, teachers provide space for discussion and extension of the text. Within reciprocal teaching, the teacher models a strategy as students demonstrate understanding of its use as they take turns modeling it with their peers. This partners well with the gradual release of responsibility. Transactional strategies instruction is an instructional framework designed to improve comprehension through the use of explicit strategy instruction. and student practice and scaffolding. It is similar to the RTI model, which most of us are familiar with, in which teachers utilize assessments and data to determine specific lessons and skills to reteach or provide practice. Within guided practice, the teacher facilitates strategy usage, and the teacher models and assists students in selecting strategies as they read. And our ultimate goal is independent practice. Students apply strategies independently and as they are reading to themselves and aloud.
No matter what strategy you are using to help foster comprehension, as teachers, the most important goal of comprehension, as Christy mentioned above, is to make sure that students are acquiring new information, turning that information into knowledge, and actively using this knowledge in their daily life. To help teachers get to that actively using knowledge stage, a comprehension continuum was developed. You can see it starts with the least sophisticated practice of comprehension and moves through different practices until they reach the most sophisticated practice of comprehension. Asking literal questions is the least sophisticated practice of comprehension. This practice shows that students can recall information. But because some students are able to recall information just by skimming and scanning, being able to answer these questions doesn't mean a student is understanding what they have read. Asking literal questions can help a teacher find out if a student can acquire information, but it is not a strategy that is going to lead to a deep understanding or develop an engaged reader. A teacher that is using literal questions may ask their students all those WH questions, like who, what, when, and where, about the text they are reading. Retelling involves short-term recall and understanding the sequence of events. Retelling is often used as a major indicator of comprehension in the lower elementary. And yes, being able to retell is an important skill, but eventually we want our students to take their thinking further. A teacher using the retelling practice may ask their students questions like, what happened first? What did the character do after that? In your own words, tell me what happened. When students are able to merge their own understanding of a topic with the new information they are acquiring, true comprehension begins. They are able to do this by making connections to self, to a theme, and to the world around them. The resource at the bottom of the page gives more information about helping kids make connections and provides graphic organizers to aid in this process. Being able to make appropriate inferences is also evidence that students are merging their own thinking with content. The other resource on the bottom of the page is a rubric to help a teacher see how effective their students are at making inferences. A teacher that is encouraging a student to merge their thinking with content will ask questions like, what does this remind you of? How does it make you feel? What do you visualize? As soon as kids can merge their thinking with content, they are able to turn information into knowledge. At this stage, students are able to use comprehension strategies as tools to help them gain insight. When students think about information, they will learn and remember it. A teacher helping students acquire knowledge will ask questions like, what is anything new? What, if anything new, did you learn? How did you come up with that? What makes you think that? And why does it matter? Students that are actively using knowledge are applying it to their everyday lives. This knowledge gives them the power to make informed decisions about how to act and behave. Students can use their knowledge to persuade others and encourage people to take action. Asking questions like, what do you want to do about this? Or how do you think you can help? Can encourage students to actively use their knowledge.
What can teachers do to help students think deeper? As teachers, we are lifelong learners, and it's important to model how we utilize comprehension strategies in order to help students think more deeply as they read. Think Alouds and book clubs, both teacher and student facilitated, provide excellent opportunities for modeling and sharing our application of strategies. Recognizing that comprehension is a key skill, regardless of subject matter or purpose for reading, are key ways for teachers to reinforce the importance and application of reading strategies. Asking questions and making connections are key comprehension strategies. And Eleanor Roosevelt's quote, pictured here, sums up the importance of explicitly teaching students to become thinkers, which results in action. We cannot afford to not invest in our students' abilities to acquire and utilize knowledge. Their future and ours depends upon it. The next two slides provide comprehension strategy resources we've either found helpful in our classroom instruction or were referenced in the article. The scaffolding book on the left was referenced multiple times by Harvey and Goodvis, and their key point of providing comprehension strategies for students so they can, quote, turn information into knowledge is extended upon it within this book. McGregor's Comprehension Connection book is full of user-friendly object lessons for bringing comprehension strategies to life. I utilize these tools on a regular basis and recommend this book for all K-3 teachers. The Beanie Baby strategy posters are utilized by K through second grade and Reading Plus teachers in my district. They provide another concrete method for students to connect with strategies. Sometimes a student only needs to hear, use Chunky Monkey, or how can Stretchy Snake help you, to utilize a strategy which is most helpful at that time. I participated in a book study utilizing reading with meaning and found the ideas and methods to be very user-friendly and applicable for elementary classroom teachers. I would recommend Debbie Miller's book for a study for first through third grade teachers.
On this slide, there are several websites to look at. The first website is about reciprocal teaching, and it is basically a how-to guide to set up reciprocal teaching in your classroom, and it provides many organizers that can help you get started. Looking at these organizers, they can definitely be adapted for any grade level. The next resource, called Rise Up for Higher Level Reading Comprehension, basically a blogger changed the Daily Fives Cafe into Rise Up, and the R stands for retell, the I is infer, the S is synthesize, and the E is envision and connect. And on this website, there are lots of strategies to help you do each of those components of comprehension, as well as questions and activities that the students could do for that. The next resource is from the website readwritethink.org, and I chose the two that had the most to do about comprehension. They provide paper pencil resources as well as online resources that can be easily shared with others. And the last resource is from the Busy Teacher Cafe, and it breaks comprehension into 6 categories: making connections, questioning, visualizing, inferring, determining importance, and synthesizing. When you click on the component of comprehension you're wanting, it sends you to a page full of resources, and some of those resources are online resources and others are print resources.
We appreciate your feedback and comments. We thank you for allowing us to present, and please take a few moments to respond to the survey link so we can better partner with you. Again, thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to partnering with you again in the future.
These are the references we used during our presentation. The link to our article is on the bottom. Thanks again for listening, and we hope you are able to turn this new information into knowledge you can use in your daily teaching.